Can I listen to the English podcast if I just memorize 우선순위 영단어? What's up everyone? Welcome to 진짜영어 매운맛, which is also 진의 YouTube page. I have no idea how you found this page, but I'm so glad you're here. So, what are you gonna talk about today? Today, we're gonna talk about podcast. Do you enjoy listening to the podcast? I do enjoy listening to the podcast. Every week, except for the weekend, every week I just listen to the podcast, which is called The Daily from New York Times. So when I work out, I just enjoy listening to it. So they offer some kind of the single event that mainly happened in the United States. It's always one day late because of the time difference. But that's fine, I can handle that. It doesn't matter at all. So there's a BJ whose name is Mike Barbaro. He always starts the podcast by saying that,
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This is The Daily.
From New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This is The Daily. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, he said, every time I listen to that, so it's so great to hear that. So by the way, do you think you can listen to the podcast, which is especially The Daily, if you just knew about the 수능 영단어? So what do you think? So in my opinion, the answer is yes. But there's one condition which is very important. So I'll explain it a little bit later. So I'll tell you why first. So here's why. Number one. So last time I just made a video in terms of the 3,000 words. The typical adult gets by about 3,000 words, and the vocabularies of 3,000 words, almost all of them learned by the time we are 11 years old. So let's talk about 우선순위 영단어, because the reason why I just picked this book, because this book is one of the most popular book in Korea. This book contains 1,800 words, basic words, and they add 1,200 words rooted by the basic words. So totally it contains 3,000 words for the exam, especially for the sake of the 수능. So what did I say? 3,000 words are enough, which means you have no problem with listening to the podcast if you know about the 수능 영단어, which is 3,000 words, right? Number two, actually, we all know that the problem is not about the knowing words. So I'll tell you why. Actually, I admit that the people from the New York Times and the CNN News, they use a lot of the academic and professional words during the broadcast, which means they speak a lot of many words that we don't know about. But you know what? This happens in Korea as well. Like I said before, 용적률, 건폐율, these words are very professional, right? So you have no idea what they mean unless you study the real estate. But when you watch the news and you face the words that you don't know about, so are you nervous? Oh, I don't know about these words. I can't hear Korean. Oh, help me, help me. Is it true? No. When strange words come out, we just don't care, right? So it doesn't matter because we just ignore them and just continue to watch the news. Here's some news from The Daily. It's all about the climate change. So all the summits gathering through Zoom have a conference. Okay, this is an important part. I will tell you one condition, which is very important when it comes to listening to the podcast. Okay, so I believe it is worth of 1 billion won at least. So what is this? Make a word an image. Make a word an image. So what do you think of when you listen to the word climate change? So what happened to your head? Number one, translating to 기후변화 in Korean. Or number two, making an image of a white bear standing on the iceberg floating on the sea. So, what happened to your head? Number 1 or number 2? If you choose number 1, I'm sorry to say that, but you are not ready for the podcast. You can't listen not because you don't know about these words. You can't listen because you're so busy. You're so busy translating the words into Korean in your head. Okay, let me give you some clip, the part of the daily. So let's listen to it.
President Biden discovered just how difficult it will be to re-establish the United States as a leader on climate change.
그러니까 바이든이 발견했다. 얼마나 어려운지 reestablish 모르겠네. 진짜 어떻게 해야 되지? 모르겠다. You just give up. You just give up because you should translate all the words into your head. So you're so busy the processing of translation in your head. So you cannot follow the next sentence. So you just give up. So that's how it works when we just face the sentence and face some fast news in the United States. However, instead of translating, just try to make some images of the sentence. 바이든, 어려워. Okay, reestablish. 다시 뭔가를 만드는 조각 만드는구나. Okay. climate change. 날씨가 막 빨리 변해. If you train yourself like this way, I believe that you can have some power to embrace some strange sentence, strange words. So you have no problem with understanding what they're saying. I have a question. What if I made a mistake? What if I just choose the wrong pictures of it? That's fine. If you just continue to follow the next sentence, automatically, it is very serious, automatically the wrong pictures can be corrected because you just found some new sentence, new words, and all the images can be corrected. So let me tell you why this is very effective and very useful. Because there's no space for Korean language. So if you look at the process of translation, just like this. English, 한국어, 한국어, English. So if you have a conversation with foreigners, so this process always works, right? But if you try to make some image of it, so you can shorten, you can make the process shorten into 3 steps, right? English, image, English. Just 3 steps. So this is the secret of listening. That's why I strongly recommend you should make some images while conversation. So when you memorize the 3,000 words, just try to memorize these words with images, as many as possible. So that no Korean words stay between them. Okay? So if you just get used to it, I promise you, you will have no problem with listening to the podcast, and you have no problem with having a conversation. Here's a recap. Don't be a translator. Try to be a photographer. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. So please make sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much. Love you so much. Bye bye.